Right, so it is currently the 8th of June, which is a Monday, and it's 1:20 p.m. So we're coming into New York session. If I show you my phone as well, it's the start of the week, and this is going to be a new series that I start where I just want to document and show you every single trade that I take of every single week, so you can get a realistic idea of what a profitable trader is actually making and all the ups and downs, and just walking in my footsteps of the process. So currently, if we look at forex factory over here on Monday, there's nothing currently that I'm really concerned about, because I only really look at red folded news to see if there's going to be high impact news which is going to influence where I'm placing my stop loss, or if I'm even entering a trade during that timing. So currently on a Monday, we don't have any red folded news, and in specific, there is no dollar news or pound news which I'm concerned about. In terms of things that I need to remember taking into this week, so last week I actually ended up losing around 1.6 R, and if we look at my journal over here, the reason I lost 1.6 R is because one of the trades that I took was me just taking my chances, me just seeing if the trade will end up playing out, even though it didn't fully meet my criteria. So that's one thing that I need to stop doing coming into this week, is just taking my chances and being like, you know what, why not, let's put some risk behind that trade, because it's lowering my accuracy. I want to be averaging an accuracy of around 50 to 60%, and by taking those trades, it is dropping my accuracy to around 40%, which means my return on investment on a monthly basis is dropping. And so for that reason, I'm going to make sure I'm a bit more selective with my trades. Yeah, so other than that, I'm just going to monitor the charts, see what ends up playing out, and I'll keep you updated on any setups that I see. Right, so I've just entered some buys on XAU USD on the 5-minute time frame. My entries are right above this candle. As this candle closed, I ended up entering with a little bit of spreads. My stops are just below these lows over here, and I'm targeting a nice 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. This is basically going to be targeting the Asia session highs over here. So I basically just want to see a nice continuation up, taking out the Asia highs as we come into New York session for a nice 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. Just to quickly break down why I've taken this trade, if we look on the 4-hour time frame, we can see we've seen a nice bullish engulfing candle closing above this critical low point over here. So this low point is what I want to see getting respected, and I just want to see a continuation up, taking out those Asian highs. Now, similarly on the 30-minute time frame, we've seen a change of character. We've seen this structure being broken, and now the 30-minute is overall bullish. What we could potentially see is price retracing lower, deeper into this level before that push up. However, based off where volume is sitting, I can see that price could potentially hold this level right over here and then continue pushing up. So that's the risk I'm willing to take. This is exactly why I've got the stop loss placed just below those lows over here, because if it cannot respect this level of demand on the 5-minute time frame, then I want to be out of this trade. So I'm going to keep you guys updated and see how this ends up playing out. Right, unfortunately with this trade we ended up hitting stop loss. As you can see, the next 3 to 4 candles ended up coming into my stop loss and hitting it straight away. To be fair, it was an early entry. It was a bit of a riskier trade that I did end up taking, and as you can see, this volume line right over here was broken and it ended up pushing down lower. Now again, I still feel like we can see that push up that I want to see from gold. However, it is a timing thing, isn't it, to be fair? And again, before I got into this trade, I did want to make sure that I wasn't taking any risky trades and I was being more selective. However, I did end up not kind of following that rule and ended up taking this trade a bit too early. So that's something that I'm going to consider coming into tomorrow's New York session, making sure I'm being a bit more selective and making back this loss and some. Right, here we are, another day. Today is Tuesday and it is around 1:13 p.m. If I show you right over here, another day, another dollar. Let's see if we can make back the loss we made yesterday. My number one rule for today and for the remaining week is to make sure I'm selective with my trades and I'm not entering trades early. because that has been a common theme right now, and I want to make sure that I'm constantly cycling that through my head, making sure I'm telling myself that I'm not going to enter trades early, and let's see if we can make some money today and if there are any opportunities in the markets. Right, so I've ended up entering on gold buys again, just like yesterday, because I still believe gold has potential to push up. However, as you know, yesterday it was a timing thing. I didn't end up getting the right timing, so I got stopped out. So today we're going to try again during New York session. So currently, if I pull up my MT5, you can see that I am floating around break even because I've just entered the trade. If you come on to the charts, you can see entry was basically taken on the 15-minute time frame at the close of this bullish engulfing candlestick, and then my stops are just below, and now I'm targeting sort of, if we come to the 30-minute time frame, you can see it more clearly. I'm going to be targeting this sort of resistance level right over here for a nice 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. So I'm going to just let this trade run, see what can potentially happen, because mainly the main thing for this trade to be valid is the fact that price needs to hold and respect and stay above this level of volume right over here. This is exactly why my stops are below it, because there is a lot of volume sitting over here, and so if price can respect it, I then want to see a nice push and break above these highs to the left right over here. So I'm going to keep you guys posted. Let's see how it ends up playing out.